Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are embarking on a truly wild journey into the future of human-computer interaction. Seriously, we're looking at how the absolute titans of the tech industry are currently racing headfirst to replace our familiar flat screens with fully three-dimensional spatial computing. The race is officially on, and the paths these companies are choosing, well, they literally could not be more different.
So, I want you to ask yourself, what actually happens when the computer screen disappears entirely? I mean, we've spent decades, literally our whole lives, typing on plastic keyboards and tapping on glowing rectangular pieces of glass. But right now, we are standing on the precipice of a radical shift away from all of that.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for the explainer. First, defining spatial computing. Second, Apple's Heavyweight Vision Pro. Third, lightweight AI smart glasses. Fourth, current limitations and hurdles. And finally, reimagining our reality.
Starting off with Section 1, defining spatial computing and blending the digital and physical worlds.
Now, believe it or not, this isn't actually a brand new concept. The term spatial computing was originally coined by Simon Greenwald way back in 2003. It essentially describes a paradigm where digital information and virtual objects are integrated directly into your physical world. What that means for us is shifting our inputs away from traditional mice and keyboards and moving toward natural human movements. We're talking about using hand gestures, tracking your eye gaze, and just speaking voice commands to interact with computers in real three-dimensional space.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the tech actually pulls that off. These devices use complex arrays of cameras, LiDAR, and depth sensors to physically map your actual room in real time. This spatial awareness is the secret sauce that allows these computers to seamlessly blend the physical and digital environments together. Imagine, picking up a digital web browser and securely locking it onto your actual living room wall exactly as if it were a physical painting. When you walk around the room, that digital window just stays anchored perfectly in place. It's totally seamless.
Moving to Section 2, Apple's Heavyweight Vision Pro and the full immersion approach.
So the tech titans are essentially taking two radically divergent paths toward our spatial future. On one hand, we have the heavyweight virtual and augmented reality approach championed by Apple, which is basically bringing a massive premium desktop computer right onto your face for total, uncompromising immersion. But then on the other hand, we have the lightweight AI glasses approach from companies like Google and Samsung. This acts way more like an invisible ambient assistant that just whispers quietly in your ear.
Let's focus on Apple's approach first. The Vision Pro is undeniably a premium piece of hardware, made of heavily machined aluminum and glass. But the physical reality of those gorgeous materials is that it is heavy. It weighs in at 638 grams resting right on the front of your face. To put that into perspective, because of that sheer weight, Apple actually had to remove the battery from the headset entirely. So you have to tether a 3,366 mAh external battery via a cable down to your pocket, which realistically yields about 2, maybe up to 4 hours of use.
Tech reviewer Marques Brownlee really hit the nail on the head regarding the sentiment around this device. He called it easily one of Apple's craziest, most radical, possibly dystopian products of all time. But hey, the technology driving it is staggering. The internal R1 and M2 chips process the camera feeds so incredibly fast that you get sub-12 millisecond latency. The pass-through video is so close to real time that you can literally put the headset on and successfully play a real-world game of ping pong. It is just a completely wild form factor. Now, what's really interesting here is how Apple cleverly leverages its existing ecosystem. The ultimate killer feature right now is the Mac Virtual Display. If you're wearing the headset, you can simply look at your physical Mac computer on your desk, and boom, it instantly spawns a massive, totally private 4K virtual display anywhere in your room. Your physical keyboard and trackpad still work seamlessly, and you control the rest of your surrounding virtual apps simply by looking at them and pinching your fingers together. It's honestly like magic.
Okay, shifting gears to Section 3, lightweight AI smart glasses and the ambient assistant approach.
When we look at the smart glasses market today, it's actually split. On one side, you have visual AR glasses that feature transparent optics to project floating screens in front of your eyes. But on the other side, and this is the focus of a massive upcoming fall 2026 launch, we have a heavy focus on audio and private AI assistants. Instead of overlaying heavy, battery-draining graphics, these upcoming Android XR glasses are designed to be highly discreet, audio-first devices powered directly by AI models like Gemini.
So the crucial point is that these upcoming glasses don't look like bulky sci-fi tech at all. They look just like regular fashion accessories. Samsung is partnering with world-renowned designers like Warby Parker and Gentle Monster, but under the hood, they're packing incredible power. They're running on the Snapdragon AR1 Gen 1 platform, feature up to 9 hours of battery life, and utilize Google Gemini or Samsung Bixby to privately translate live conversations, summarize your texts, or vividly describe exactly what you're looking at through the built-in camera.
To really see how this plays out in real life, let's look at this incredible demo from Google I/O. Imagine a user walking down the street. They simply ask Gemini to place their usual coffee order at a nearby cafe. While the phone literally stays in the user's pocket the entire time, Gemini automatically opens the DoorDash app, navigates all the menus behind the scenes, and then just chimes into the user's ear for a final confirmation. The user verbally confirms, adds a 20% tip, and walks right in to grab their Nitro Cold Brew. The whole shebang, totally hands-free. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into current limitations and hurdles. Basically, what is actually holding us back?
As advanced and futuristic as this all is, we face very grounded, real-world roadblocks preventing instant mainstream adoption. First up, battery life. Running high-end optical displays and continuous spatial sensors drains power exceptionally fast. Then we have form factor issues, specifically the heavy weight and those wired battery packs we talked about. The content ecosystem is also kind of struggling right now. Massive players like Netflix and YouTube have actually opted out of building dedicated apps for the Vision Pro at the moment. And finally, there is the massive, undeniable hurdle of social acceptance and bystander privacy when people are casually wearing cameras on their faces.
Companies are attempting to handle this social friction in very different ways, and it's fascinating to watch. Apple tackles the isolation problem by putting a lenticular screen on the outside of the Vision Pro that displays a digitized scan of your eyes. They call it a persona, so people in the room can see when you are looking at them. However, a lot of reviewers note this can suffer from a serious uncanny valley effect, like having weird frozen hair. Samsung, on the flip side, is taking a more straightforward route, building bright LED recording indicators directly next to their glasses camera, paired with strict wear detection sensors to transparently warn bystanders if the device is active and recording.
Finally, Section 5, Reimagining Our Reality and the Future of Consumer Tech. You know, after years of safe, predictable, and honestly slightly boring annual smartphone updates, the tech industry is finally taking massive, exciting risks again. As Marques Brownlee notes here, this is a very young category. And yeah, while there are deep flaws and downsides right now, it is genuinely fun to see these huge companies experimenting with such radical visions for our digital future. They are actually going for it. Which leaves us with this final, truly provocative thought to ponder. Are you ready to trade your smartphone for a world without screens? And if you are, which of these divergent paths will you personally choose? Do you want the heavy, completely breathtaking total immersion of a virtual desktop environment? Or do you prefer the lightweight, ambient, and visible assistance of AI glasses? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this gave you a fantastic look at the spatial computing revolution happening right before our very eyes.